We're doing a quick tour of this historic home, the Dr. John Banks House in Natchez.
I'm sorry.
This is the home of a gentleman who was the very first man of color to be a doctor in Natchez and also in the entire state of Mississippi. We're doing this today on the occasion of April 9th, 2025, which marks the 140th anniversary of his receiving his medical license. So come on in, the Dr. Banks House, and we're going to learn a little about this amazing place and this Natchez history. And so here we are. Oh, what a beautiful home. Wow.
And let me say good evening and welcome you to Dr. John Bowman Banks Museum.
Oh, wow. And this is Miss Thelma Newsom, who is with the museum. Also, Ms. Jacqueline Williams, who is here. And so, Ms. Newsom, thank you for the welcome. Tell us a little about this house.
And I'd like to start with sort of giving an overall description of the Dr. John Bowman Banks House. This house was built, as it said, on the Queen Anne style. And here you see the metal roof that was talked about. One of the main things about this house is the dormers that you'll see, and there are 4 of them. It's one here, it's one on the side, one in the back, and one on the other side. And it's my understanding that in the summertime, when the weather was good, they would sit out on these little balconies, and you could see all over town. Wow. That was before any buildings or any tall buildings were done. And this was just so inviting to everyone. It was amazing to be able to see that kind of view from the dormers here.
Close the door.
Here you have the wraparound porch.
Close the door.
And this porch started in the front where we were, and it wraps all the way around on the side. This was another spectacular something to see with the house. Again, you could have visitors to sit out, and you could enjoy any kind of setting, especially during the warm months. And you know, here in the South, we have a lot of warm weather. So this was an ideal setting for this house. We've since cut down some of the trees that you see here so you could have a better view of the house, because these had grown so tall, but they're beginning to come back, and we want to try to make sure that we don't get them as tall again, because it seems to take a little bit away from the house. But you're in what we consider the foyer, the main hallway, and we've taken this part to just show you some of the things about the house. You'll notice up here that we have 2 of the pictures that show what the house was like, or the disrepair it was in before Mr. Robinson came and decided to remodel the house.
Mr. Robinson being the great-grandson.
Mr. Robinson was the grandson of Dr. John Banks.
Okay.
This was his daughter's son.
I see.
And after being away for a while, he decided that he was going to move back to Natchez. The house was just really gone down. Oh. And his thing was, something needs to be done with my grandfather's house. So he restored the house and was given a couple of awards from the Historic Natchez Foundation and the Historic Preservation Conference for the work that he did on this house. And we are so grateful that he was able to do that, and then left the house to Rose Hill Missionary Baptist Church. On this panel, you'll see a picture and writings about Booker T. Washington. As the mayor explained, Booker T. Washington was a great friend of Dr. Banks. He often visited Natchez, and when he would come to Natchez, he would stay here at the house with Dr. Banks and his family. This shows Booker T. Washington at Natchez College. He addressed a group at Natchez College at a convention that was held here. And there was, from what we were told, standing room only, and the grounds were just full because people wanted to hear Booker T. Washington speak. So that was another great event from of Dr. Banks when Booker T. came and addressed Natchez College. Here you'll also see 5 of Dr. Banks' friends that were often visitors here. We didn't get the names of all of them, but Booker T. Washington was one of those persons in the picture here as well, simply because he would come and he would often speak. One of the other things you'll notice about Booker T. Washington, when he came, he went to the Baker Grand Theater that's no longer in existence, and he addressed a group there. And one of the things that was mentioned was that this was the first time a lot of white people that were in the audience said they had sat and listened to a black man speak for that period of time. So he was very welcomed here in the city of Natchez. Questions?
Wow. And I understand that the City Council Chamber building is on the site of what was the Baker Grand. So isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
And this picture is on the front steps of this house.
It's on the front steps of the house here.
Wow. A lot of history. Now, if we look up, Ms. Newsom, I do have to point out, because we are raising funds to help solve leaks in this house, and here we have an evidence of some of the leaks that we are dealing with here at the Dr. Banks House. And so we do want people to share this. We're asking for donations to help preserve this house.
Absolutely, and we appreciate any donations that may be given. Now, if we'll turn and look in this room, and I'm going to kind of move in and...
Oh, the furniture is beautiful.
We have redone this room as a bedroom. One of the significant things about this bedroom is that it was given to us by a family in Summit, Mississippi. You mentioned the fact that Dr. Banks grew up around that area near Macomb. This bedroom set is made of walnut Carpathia wood, and they gave us the bed, the dresser, and the washstand over here. The washstand has a section at the bottom of it where they would put the chamber pot at night. There were no indoor bathrooms during that particular time.
Oh.
And so they used chamber pots. So they would have the chamber pot available at night, and then in the morning it would be emptied and cleaned so that it would be ready for the next night. We've tried to put a panel in each room that tells a little bit about the room and the furnishings. You'll also see a picture of Dr. Banks and Dr. Banks's wife on the wall here.
Beautiful.
And we have pictures of their two children.
Oh.
In the little round frames there.
And his wife's name was Sarah.
His wife's name was
and
Sarah.
his daughter's name was Beatrice. No?
I think that's correct.
And
Was
the
Charles.
son was Charles. And so this was their family home for us.
This was their family
for,
home.
Many years. Even though Dr. Banks sadly passed away when he was only 49. But his son continued in the family tradition, being a physician.
Absolutely. And one of the other things I want to point out to you, this picture right here shows you an armoire. And we're told by the family that donated the bedroom suite to us, you all can come on in, that this armoire will be given to the Banks house upon the demise of the lady who gave us the rest of the furniture here. So they're holding the armoire because they're still using it to put clothing and all in. But that will be given to the Banks house upon her demise. So we are very grateful for this beautiful bedroom furniture that we were given by that family. This bed was called a weaning bed. And by being called a weaning bed, it simply meant that when the baby got of age to be weaned, the mother, the baby, and the father slept in this bed.
Oh.
And I don't know if that was so, if the baby woke up during the night, the mother could feed the baby, or however that schedule ran. But this is a weaning bed.
Beautiful.
You have to have a special mattress made for it because it's a little bit longer than a regular queen mattress is.
Yeah.
So we were very proud of the fact that we were given this. And if you look, you see the intricate design at the top
Yes.
of each piece
Yes.
of this furniture.
Beautiful.
Very beautifully
Ms.
done.
Newsom, also is wonderful that in the restoration of this house, the original woodwork was preserved. It's beautiful, the doors, and it hasn't been painted over, which is a really incredible feature of this house.
I spoke with one of the gentlemen that helped with the restoration when it was done, and he said that was one of the things that Mr. Robinson made sure of.
Yes.
He did not want the woodwork painted over. He wanted them to just basically sand it a little bit to get some of the
Yes.
rough places out. And they did a coat of varnish on it
Yes.
because he wanted to keep it as close to the original wood as possible.
Now, we understand when Mr. Metcalf was a tenant here, he actually hosted Charles Evers.
We're
at
going to
this
talk
house.
about that in another room.
You know, we don't have a lot of time on Facebook. People are going to see the whole
I'm
tour.
sorry. I thought,
People are going to have
okay.
to come and actually schedule a tour and make a donation.
Well,
not give it
let's
all
go to this
away.
room and then we can talk a little
All
bit more
right,
about
let's
that.
do that.
I apologize.
Oh no, I could be here all day. But wow, look at the history in this room.
We've set this room up kind of as our civil rights room. And we did that because there is so much civil rights history in this building. The upstairs part is where the civil rights office and all was. And since we didn't have any access to upstairs yet because of the leaks and all, we decided to set this room up as our civil rights heritage room. On each one of the walls, you'll see pictures of some of the activities that took place during the time of the civil rights era here in Natchez. You'll see some of the leaders in the civil rights movement, Mr. George Metcalf, who was one of them. And over here, you see information about the Deacons of Defense. The Deacons of Defense was organized because of some of the activities that were going on here in Natchez. The boycott that was called in Natchez and that was so successful was as a result of some decisions that were made by the mayor and the council, city council at that time. The NAACP made certain demands or asked for certain demands to be met. And when those demands were denied, a boycott was called. And that was called by Mr. Charles Evers, who was at that time the leader here of the local NAACP. We're told that that particular boycott was the most successful one of all of the activities that happened in the South during that time, because there was no bloodshed, and as a result of that boycott, the demands that had originally been made were all met and given into. Except for one.
According to Mr. Nasser's daughter.
Right.
Goodness.
Black men and black women were not referred to as Mr. and Mrs.
Right. That was the only thing, which, you know, back during that time, that had been a real issue.
Yes.
But this house has a lot of history from the NAACP. The SNCC group that came to Natchez during that particular time, the house that they were in, that one of the groups was in, was burned. It was bombed. And so Mr. Metcalf brought those young people here, and they stayed here until at such time he was able to get them other lodging. So a lot of things took place here in Natchez during that time of the civil rights movement.
Wow.
All of these are pictures. You see the truck that Mr. Wallace Jackson was in,
Yes.
that was bombed. You see what it looks like when they found it.
Yes.
You see Mr. Metcalf in the bed over there when his vehicle was bombed, and that's a picture of him. You see pictures of the marches that were done. So all of these are things related to the civil rights movement that took place here in our city.
Wow. The history, if these walls could talk, right?
Right.
I want to say it was such a blessing being with Alderwoman Hall on Saturday and hearing all of the great history of Marge Barone, who was so active in helping during the
Yes.
civil rights movement and was actually a leader in our white community of having people speak out and really help get voter registration going, and at the risk of her own life and that of her family. Being right across from Holy Family Church, all the history associated with the church there that I'm learning from you, Alderwoman Hall, because I know you go to church there. But also, Mayor Tony Byrne, who was mayor here for 20 years, has shared with us that being the mayor that came in after Mayor Nasser, that was a time of tremendous history. And I think he was the first mayor to get elected going to the black churches, getting their vote, and in 1968 following through with an agreement where they put black citizens in positions in every department of the city. And now look at us here today, the progress we've made. I'm just so grateful.
And so are we. I tell people all of the time when I talk to someone and they say, "Oh, you're from Natchez, Mississippi? Where in the world is that?" And once I explain to them where we're located, and the biggest thing they want to know about is race relations here in our city.
Yes.
And I tell them we're not perfect, but we have made a lot of progress
Amen.
in what we do.
Amen.
And that's the way you grow.
Yeah.
You continue to make progress, maybe a little bit at a time, but we're nothing like we used to be. So
That's
we're
right.
grateful for that.
All right. What we're going to do is we're going to just in a few minutes end this portion, but because we're live on Facebook and we don't want to just give away the whole tour. I want you to please tell people who are watching who want to come here and give the whole tour, who would like to contribute to the fund that we now have established, well, you've established, all of you, through the museum. If people want to help support the museum, how can they make a donation? Ms. Williams, how would they?
They can make a donation by making a check payable to the Banks House Museum. Send it to Post Office Box 501, Natchez, of course, Mississippi 39121.
All right. And it's tax deductible?
It is tax deductible. We are a 501c3 entity.
And we do have donors that have been identified in the community that are waiting to make matching anonymous donations once more donations come in. And we need to raise $15,000 right now to address water intrusion from the historic roof, but without having to replace the historic roof,
Yes.
this iconic roof. If anyone wants to tour the house, obviously this is a large house and we've only seen the foyer and 2 rooms. How would they go about setting up a tour?
They can go through the
Visit Natchez.
Visit Natchez. Miss Julie,
No, that's
yes, I'm saying Visit Natchez,
I-
but the Natchez tour group
Oh, yes.
with Judy Green. And if you call that group, she will schedule a tour for you, or we have flyers out. They are on Visit Natchez website, and you can look at that flyer. There are 3 numbers that you can call, and either one of us will answer and schedule a tour for you. We will begin setting up visitation days here starting the end of next week. Each one of us will take a day where we will work here at the museum so that we can do the tours. But right now, if you do Visit Natchez website, and if you do the Natchez street tours with Miss Judy Green with the hop-on, hop-off bus, she can tell you exactly how to go about scheduling a tour with the Banks House.
It's also very easy to learn about this house just by Googling Dr. John Banks House, Natchez. And you would be amazed at the links to your tour brochure, to the website, and to a lot of other information about the house. So I want to just say thank you for your hospitality. Ms. Newsom, thank you. And Ms. Williams
you.
and Mr. Woods. And we are excited to know that this house is here in our city. And I predict it's going to, in time, become a top tourist destination, because I know of no other place like it.
Well, Mayor, we agree with you wholeheartedly, and we thank you for coming up with the idea of having this fundraiser for us on behalf of the house in order to try to restore the roof and keep things going here.
Thank you.
We are very
Oh,
appreciative.
you are welcome, but I thank you for what y'all have done. Well, we will share these links in the comment thread.
Okay.
God bless Natchez, and God bless y'all.
And thank you so very much.
Thank you.